Lake Grace is halfway between Perth and Esperance, and it's 2.5 hours north of Albany, about 5 hours from Kalgoorlie, so we're in the middle of everywhere. Lake Grace is known for, amongst other things, some art. Our Lake Grace Regional Artspace is the biggest building in the main street.
It focuses in the middle of town. The locals all walk past on a regular basis, so they're looking in the windows, finding out what we're doing. Quite often if we've got workshops, exhibitions, they'll just pop in and see what we're up to. People have started to ask us questions, what we're doing, how we're doing it, when we're doing it. Because we work a lot with recycled materials, they drop stuff out the front. It's convenient. The gallery space is basically a non-threatening space for the local artists, so that they can have their own exhibitions. It gives some of the locals a chance to have a solo exhibition. It gives people a chance to have a go. It's quite daunting to have your own exhibition.
For some people, art is this white cube thing. It's an imposing sort of like idea, let alone the actual act of doing it. It's about breaking down those barriers and about allowing people the freedom to participate.
We don't have any limitations, we don't discourage anyone. We try to encourage everyone to have a go, and that's the most important part, is that you start the kids off young and they develop. Slowly over the years we've got more and more artists come along and say, can we join you? So that's even better. They're not always from Lake Grace, they're from all around the region, and we encourage that because we want people to be exposed to different techniques, different styles and different people, because we work one way, someone else works another.
Sometimes we will set the theme or we'll set the size, a way for people to have an entry into the exhibition, so it stops the blank canvas syndrome. Amongst our more experienced artists, it lets them really play with those parameters and push the boundaries so that they can really create some contemporary, really edgy pieces of art. As we do these, we get more interaction from the community when we set these parameters. If we leave the subject really open and just set a theme, sometimes we don't get, as many entries or as many participants. So we've actually found this works a lot better for us. And now we have the community, they come in and say, well, what's next?
Thin red line was just another challenge with a green background and a red line that joined all the works together so that we could hang it in a non-traditional way.
It could be any subject, any medium, anything else that you changed, but you had to sort of almost follow those parameters. We lined all those works up so that the red line was continuous right through it. So right around the gallery, it filled our gallery space. And so it went higgledy-piggledy all the way around, so it wasn't hung in a traditional way.
We got nearly 100 works, I think, from that, which was good fun because there was everything. There was anything from crocheting, which is very traditional, to recycle, to painting, and some more ephemeral works that were done on the walls.
And that toured to Mora. That was the first exhibition that we took out of the space. We didn't have a lot of interaction with the other town at that stage. The next thing we did was Uncovered with Cranbrook Arts, where we invited their artists to come into our space and exhibit their works here. So that was sort of like the start of it. And that was about 2013. We started to really push to try and integrate other communities, and we struck up a relationship with Plantagenet Arts.
How that kind of started was through Facebook, really, with one of the members of Lake Grace Artists Group saying that I did some natural dyeing and highlighted and said, oh, this was interesting, and invited me to go to a arts workshop in Lake Grace doing mud cloth. We got a bit of a friendship going there, I suppose, or interaction between their artists and ours, which led to Black and White, which was exhibited in Narrogin, Lake Grace and Mount Barker, and then had more people get involved with the Rust and the landscape exhibitions.
We have members here from Wagen, from Narrogin, from Perth, from Bremer Bay. We've actually got a fairly wide membership. That was one of the things we decided to do, was to bring other artists in so that it actually strengthened our core arts body of people.
WA might be really, really big in landmass, but when we talk about the population in regional WA, it's not 6 degrees of separation, it's 3 degrees of separation. The challenges that in working with Lake Grace is how we get the works from one place to another. Kerrie and others have had an excuse to come to Albany or our area, so making use of the ute and filling up with their works and bringing them over. We've also done the fill up your car and go for a drive to Lake Grace, so there's nobody else helping deliver the works.
When we set these things up, we need to do workshops so that there is another way that people can see the doors open for them to actually be able to participate.
The rust workshop had people using rusting techniques with paper, textiles, or actually rust colours in their painting, and provided a very interesting range of art pieces. We actually had a weekend where artists from the Lake Grace group came across to Mount Barker and stayed at our farm, and we had the workshops in our shearing shed with beautiful views of the sterling ranges. So it was an opportunity to do a specific collaboration and handover of some techniques. Kerrie is a bit of an expert with some of these rusting, well, she's had plenty of experience. And then Anna Grosjean, one of our members, then replicated that with members of our arts group. So there was some exchange of ideas and some techniques that then went through to be seen on the walls. The collaboration in having the generosity of someone like Kerrie and Tania just to, spark an interest and, keep us motivated into actually preparing for exhibitions and ensuring that we do have an activity that's open to the public, because it can be a bit easy to become very inward focused and just doing the same thing and forgetting that art should be shared.
It reinvigorates everyone, and it's really important for our own artists to interact with other people.